Imagine this. You wake up one morning and the world feels different. The air is heavy. The streets are quiet. Too quiet. No voices, no movement, no life. Only the distant sound of bells, ringing again and again, each one announcing another death. You step outside and see a cart slowly moving through the street. But it carries no goods. It carries bodies. This is not fiction. This is not a nightmare. This really happened. The year is 1347. At the ports of Europe, ships begin to arrive. But something is wrong. The sails are still raised, yet no one greets them. No voices come from the deck. When people finally board these ships, they freeze in horror. Bodies lie everywhere. Sailors collapsed where they stood, some still holding ropes, others frozen in their final moments. And on their skin, dark swellings, black marks, signs of something unknown. In that moment, without realizing it, Europe opens its doors to one of the deadliest events in human history, the Black Death. But this story does not begin here. Far away, beyond mountains and deserts, in the vast lands of Central Asia, something had already begun. A silent killer, invisible to the human eye, a bacterium. For years it existed quietly among wild animals. But then the world began to change. Trade routes expanded. The Silk Road connected distant lands like never before. Goods, people, and ideas traveled across continents. And with them, something far more dangerous. Death found a way to travel, not as an army, not with warning, but silently. It moved through fleas, living on rats. When infected rats died, the fleas searched for new hosts. And in crowded cities, dirty streets, and ships filled with people, they found exactly what they needed. Europe was not prepared. At first, people did not understand what was happening. A fever here, a sickness there, nothing unusual. But then it spread, fast. People who were healthy in the morning were dead within days. High fever, burning pain, weakness so extreme it crushed the body. Then came the swellings, dark, painful lumps under the skin. And then the black spots, signs that the body itself was shutting down. Some died within 3 days, some within hours. Imagine that. You wake up healthy, and by the next day, you are gone. Soon, it was no longer just a disease. It became a presence, a shadow that followed everyone. Fear spread faster than the plague itself. People stopped trusting each other. A simple cough could mean death. Families faced impossible choices. Stay with the ones you love and risk dying, or run and survive alone. Many chose survival. Parents left children. Children left parents, not because they didn't care, but because they were afraid. Cities began to collapse. Markets emptied. Shops closed. Streets fell silent. The dead piled up faster than they could be buried. Carts moved day and night, collecting bodies. Mass graves were dug. No names, no goodbyes, no prayers. As if these people had never existed. Doctors tried everything. Herbs, smoke, bloodletting, prayers. But nothing worked. Because they were fighting something they could not see. Some believed it was punishment from God. Others believed it was the end of the world. And when fear takes over, humans look for someone to blame. Chaos followed, order broke down, trust disappeared, and humanity itself began to crack. Out of this darkness, a strange figure appeared. The plague doctor, dressed in black, wearing a mask with a long beak filled with herbs, trying to protect against what they believed was poisoned air. It did not truly work, but it became a symbol of fear, of desperation, of humanity trying to fight the invisible. Years passed. Millions died. Entire villages disappeared. Fields were left empty. Cities lost half their population. But slowly, something changed. The spread began to slow. Not because of medicine, not because of a cure, but because there were fewer people left to infect. The plague did not end with victory. It ended with exhaustion. By 1353, the worst was over. But the world that remained was no longer the same. From this destruction came change. Workers became more valuable. The old systems began to break. A new world slowly started to emerge. Not perfect, not healed, but alive. The Black Death was not just a disease. It was a moment when humanity faced its own fragility. Because in the end, the real question is not how many died. The real question is, what would you have done? Would you stay with the ones you love, knowing it could kill you? Or would you run to save your own life? Because history is not just the past. It is a mirror. And sometimes it shows us who we really are.